Alright, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews. I just had to get in for a little chat about this movie here. Could highly recommend it to you. It is Wolves, George Clooney and Brad Pitt. This is on Apple TV, and I didn't even know this movie was out. I'm so out of touch at the minute. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely ridiculous at this point. And I actually came across it on like a meme that was doing the rounds on Instagram, and it had a little clip out of the movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney, where Brad Pitt says, "You've got blood on your sweater," and Clooney, he goes on and he starts to pretend that he's been shot or something. There's actual blood, and then he flips the body at him. Very funny. So looked it up, found it on Apple TV, took a little watch at it the other night. An epic movie. One that I kind of feel at this point is going to have a good view. The rewatchability factor of this movie is pretty high with me. I'm actually looking forward to getting another watch at it this weekend. Essentially, Clooney and Pitt play what is called fixers, guys that get rid of problems for people. When I say problems, I mean like big problems, like I mean dead bodies, that sort of thing. So at the beginning of the film, straight into the action, there's a woman in a hotel, there's a dead guy on the floor, and she gets hold of Clooney's character, and he shows up to take care of the problem. Shortly later, Pitt shows up, and he's there for the same job, and the people that are above them force them to work together on this project, even though both of them prefer to be lone wolves. That's where the title of the movie comes from, Lone Wolves. So we start in a pretty funny scenario between these two. The chemistry between Clooney and Pitt in this are absolutely, it's fantastic. They bounce off well with each other, and throughout the job at the beginning is just simply to clean up this hotel, get the woman out of there, set her up with an alibi, and get rid of the dead body, make sure nothing is left for anybody to find. They're just going to make this problem disappear. That's what they do. Pitt at this point, as he plays it so cool, just winding Clooney's character up, because he's there in what he calls a supervising capacity. So like he's really, trying to annoy him throughout the opening of this movie. The whole, like, as I say, straight into the action. You don't see what happens to this guy at all. It happens in flashback later on. It's all explained very well. But during the cleanup, they discover a bag of cocaine in there, and this puts a new wrinkle into the job, because they need to find out where this stuff came from and what to do with it. So they continue with the job, get the dead body down onto the back of Clooney's car, and quickly realise that this guy isn't actually dead, this young boy. So they have to take him to try and get him off this. Like, he's taken some of this illicit substance, and he's OD'd to the point where his heartbeat is barely there. He's like, completely comatose. So they eventually get him woken up, and I'm not going to spoil too much of this for you. I'll take you so far on it, but it's one of these ones that, go check it out as soon as you can. Essentially, they have to then help this guy finish the job. They're hoping, as they go through the story, the both of them are starting to get soft in their old age, and they're actually starting to really take a liking to this young fella. It turns out he's not the mule that they expect him to be. He's let's just say he's an innocent party that gets caught up in something that he shouldn't have been caught up in. But they have to do this job. They have to get rid of everything, including him. So they try to help him to get him to the drop off for this, hoping that this will end the problems for them. Hopefully this gang will take this guy out, everything will be good, we'll have it sorted out. They need the information of who owns this stuff for the guys higher up, more or less. Yeah, but they get caught up, of course, in a gang shootout at one point. There's a brilliant little sequence in a nightclub where they both have an ex-employer in there, and they know that if this ex-employer sees the two of them together, there's going to be big trouble. So they have to try to pretend that they don't know each other, and the sequence is pretty well done. Up towards the end of the film, there's a lot of stuff in here. Whenever you're watching it the first time, there's a lot of stuff that's laid out, and you're getting pretty far through the movie, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, there's some stuff happening at the beginning that's not really tying up here, how they're going to finish this off. And this is coming up into like the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, and there's none of the loose ends have been tied up at all. And I'm thinking, okay, this could be a pretty decent film. If they don't nail the landing here, I'm going to be disappointed. But literally within the final moments of the movie, everything comes together, and you find out exactly what's happening, why everything went into motion in the first place, and we get a great end to this movie. Yeah, I kind of talked a little bit longer there than I was expecting to in this, but the movie is a treat that I don't get much these days. Like, it used to be, whenever I was a kid growing up, there was a lot of movies coming out that had that amazing rewatchability factor. Hasn't happened much in recent years. The only one recently that's really did it for me was Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, and this one here is a nice little sleeper hit that I'm glad I finally came across. Again, couldn't recommend it higher. Get on the Apple TV, check it out as soon as you can.